Big deal in the Pacific this week. We've covered in recent years the rising influence of China in the region. Australia pushed back in a big way with a deal with a very small member of the Pacific Island Forum.
Let's go to this deal with Tuvalu announced by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese that will allow 280 immigrants to Australia a year here in exchange for Tuvalu agreeing it won't sign any other security deals with other countries. A clear attempt to stop that island nation joining the Solomon Islands in entering into such agreements with China. Now, the tiny island country lies halfway between Australia and Hawaii, and this deal had been in the works for a while. In fact, the American administration was informed about it when Anthony Albanese visited the US last month for that state dinner with the US President Joe Biden. The Americans welcomed the deal privately during those meetings. It's the sort of thing only a middle power can pull off, is Australia's view. The PM has been talking about a deliberate and calibrated strategy concerning China, and this is how the trips the PM has been on have been undertaken in a deliberate and calibrated fashion. First, the US trip to give our number one defence ally some respect ahead of the China trip and allow potential messages to be passed on to China ahead of the APEC meeting due this week between Presidents Xi and Biden. Then the trip to China, where Albanese received a warm reception from President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Qian ahead of the expected lifting of more trade sanctions against Australia. Deals in terms of the purchase of Australian wine are already in the wings, I'm told, ahead of the expected lifting of that wine ban. Then he was off to the Cook Islands for the Pacific deal. It seems obvious to the government that China is looking to open up more to help its economy, and this is the start of it. And that's potentially quite good news for Australian business.